Unlike most combat sports, boxing is different. Most combat sports have 3 rounds, or sometimes five sports have 3 rounds, or sometimes 5 rounds, like in the UFC. But on a professional level, boxing is 10 rounds or even 12 rounds. So the struggle is real for every fighter. And if there is not enough gas in your tank to last that many rounds, you will get exposed in front of a large crowd. It reminds me of that clip of Artur Beterbiev where he wanted more than 20 rounds for every fight. Sounds insane, right? Not if you follow his protocol of training your lungs the right way for boxing. Not only his, but fighters like Triple G, Alexander Usyk, Vasily Lomachenko, all these Eastern Bloc fighters used the same protocols and were trained by coaches who used very similar approaches. All of those training methods I will be putting in front of you for free, but you can give me a subscribe if you want to in return. Now, Vasily Lomachenko's father, Anatoly Lomachenko, is known for building legends in boxing out of thin air, and he even trained Alexander Usyk. His main idea was that cardio isn't just execution of task under fatigue, but also resistance to extreme pressure put on you and your response to it. Alexander Usyk is known for his cycling-based endurance training, and not many boxers make use of the cycle, knowing how easy it is on the joints and builds extreme psychological resilience. Usyk would do 100 kilometers on a road bike in the insane heat of Dubai while the sun was peaking. Imaz, who is the manager of Usyk, said that he has never seen any other boxer do something as extreme as Usyk's cycling adventure is a pure test of endurance, heat acclimation, hydration management, and mental resilience. Reminds me of Khabib Nurmagomedov, who was a dominant MMA champion during his time, and he was known for his insane cardio that he would tax his opponents with by wrestling them for whole rounds, and he utilized the same method of cycling during these day 2, especially on the hills. This Goggins-style conditioning work of hours and hours of training might not be approved by modern conditioning coaches, and they have a lot to say about it, but it has worked for world champions, and I must say again that no amount of other modern conditioning methods would build mental resilience as well as this.
Artur Beterbiev was a little different from this. He wanted to be more sport-specific with his conditioning, but he still would run miles in the morning. It's a pattern with all the world champions. They keep running as the base, but Artur loves the jump rope a lot for footwork and coordination. His other signature drill is the sledgehammer. He swings for high volume. For example, he would go 12 rounds to mimic a 12-round fight and 1 minute rest with 105 shots per round, or even a full 1 hour non-stop session in some camps. He builds hip rotational power, shoulder endurance, grip, and mental toughness. Mimics the chopping, short-range power in his punches. He is also known for his different variation of plyometric push-ups. As you can see on the screen, he says he does them all the time when his mood isn't right and he just needs something to pass the time with. Topic of mental toughness, we have Anatoly Lomachenko, who I mentioned before, the great coach who coached Vasily and Usyk. He would implement a very weird drill for his fighters involving just a bucket of water, where he would ask his students to get their heads in and hold their breaths for as long as they could, and with every session they were told that they would have to beat their previous record. The whole reason he would make them do that is because he was teaching their brains to get familiar with conditions where the brain might lack oxygen. Gennady Golovkin, who I don't have to introduce at all, many of you know him for his ability to absorb shots with ease and his insane knockout power. One thing you might not know about his endurance training is that unlike other boxers who would do road work on straight roads, Gennady would do his road work on mountains running uphill. My next video is going to be structured on why Uzbekistan is dominating the amateur scene in boxing, their training protocols, and diving deep into their routines. So if you like the content, drop me a subscribe, and thanks for watching.